Mesopotamia is located in the Near East in what is now Iran, Iraq, and Turkey. It is bordered on the west by the Euphrates River and its surrounding lands, and on the east by the Tigris River and its surrounding lands. The regions bracketed by these two mighty rivers gave rise to written language and the first recorded cities in history. Mesopotamia was part of an area that is known as the Fertile Crescent that reaches all the way down to Egypt. It is an area full of broad rivers and marshes and produces an abundance of food, which fueled the explosive population growth in the area early on. The art of Mesopotamia ranges from the early use of ceramics, which were painted with abstract patterns, to the creation of sculpture effigies for religious purposes, and styles used in Mesopotamian architecture to create their ornate temples and palace gates. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the world's oldest stories. Gilgamesh is a tale of heroics, human emotion, action, and revenge. The story is the oldest surviving form of literature and the second oldest religious text. Government and religion were not separated in Mesopotamia until around 3800 BCE, and priests often ruled. After 3800 BCE, kings came to power. They dealt directly with the people and made laws based on their reasoning and discretion. Even then, the king was seen as someone who was powerful enough to deliver the gods' will through his own voice. Before they were kings, they were priests. Priests were put in power as the people believed they had the ability to receive messages from the gods. They created laws through divine messages and religious signs. Most Mesopotamians were polytheistic. This believes they believed in many gods. There were three main gods. Ea, or Enki, was the god of wisdom and magic. Anu, or An, god of the sky. And Enlil, or Elel, god of agricultural storms, earth, and the controller of the fates. In ancient Mesopotamian times, the social structure was often very stratified. Slaves had always been the lowest tier, and then working up would be farmers, poets and musicians, artisans, merchants, scribes, priests, and on top would be the ubiquitous king. In ancient Mesopotamian times, the Mesopotamians did not have many of the supplies that they needed, so in order to survive, their economy relied heavily on trading. In order to obtain the goods they needed, they built docks for trade ships to use. The merchants often used the bartering system, and actual money was rare, but at times coins of gold, silver, copper, and lead were used as currency. In Mesopotamia, job specialization, or what we'd call careers, began to develop. The farmers grew the crops with the help of irrigation systems and yearly flooding. Weavers created the many textiles. Potters were the artists, and they used their talent to create household pottery and the statues of Mesopotamian gods and goddesses. Scribes or writers were one of the most prestigious jobs in the Mesopotamian times. However, in order to become a scribe, a wealthy boy had to go to school for 12 years to learn his craft. Mesopotamians were also the first to name constellations and document meteors, eclipses, and comets. Musicians were trained in schools, and music retained association between music, gods, and spirit animals. In Mesopotamia, job specialization,